Hello, this is Sarah Galvin, and I'm going to be going over my pop culture in East Asia paper. This is not my major, so I was really trying to figure out how I would branch what I like to do versus what I've learned in this class, and really try to apply that to an academic setting. So, one thing that I really do like to do is watch television. So, I have been watching the show The Good Doctor for a while now, and I actually learned through this class that it was originally a Korean television show. So that is what I'm going to be doing my paper on, is just comparing and contrasting between the two shows. Um, the Korean original was started in 2013, ran for about 20 episodes. And the American remake is currently going on. It started in 2017, last year, and it is on its second season right now. Um, but after I watched the shows, I was trying to figure out what exactly I was going to look at, and I decided that I would look at the cultural differences that were really the biggest differentiating factor between the two shows. And the areas that I landed on were the expression of violence that was used in between the two shows, as well as the characters' values on career and future. And then lastly, the respect that is given to elders and teachers. And in the show, it translates to basically their bosses and older doctors in the shows. My research question is, how has culture played a role in differentiating Korean and American television? And my thesis, based off of that research question, turned out to be the differences in the American adaptation of the original Korean television series The Good Doctor relies heavily on cultural values of each country. The differences can be seen in the expression of violence, values of future and career, as well as the respect given to elders and teachers. So the expression of violence, this is seen really heavily in American culture, really. America is pretty known to have a pretty violent reputation, I feel like. So you see that a lot in the ideology of masculinity and violence, and just how that has seeped into our pop culture, and it's really shown throughout a lot of different areas. And when I compare that to South Korea, I think that it isn't shown in media as much because of the South Korean Media Rating Board, which essentially regulates domestic and foreign films. It's a rating system that goes from age 7 and up, 12 and up, 15 and up, and then explicit, where you have to be over the age of 19. So it's a rating system that regulates what is shown on television for certain things. The values of career and future is obviously more heavily seen through the lens of South Korea, and their workforce and their work culture, which is very different than here in the West, which is more individualized, and personal recognition is kind of sought out more than in Korea. So that's shown throughout the film, and there's a number of examples seen throughout the series, as well as specifically the pilot's episode where I'm focusing on. And lastly, in regards to the respect given to elders and teachers, and in this show, we're looking at more so like bosses and older doctors that are seen in the show. But obviously, East Asia has a very prominent Confucianism role, I guess you would say. And so we're seeing how that plays out in the culture, and how that plays out and is transferred into pop culture and the television series, which you do see it. It's very much so very different from the Korean version versus the American version, where it's not, the level of respect is not nearly the same throughout the characters and the character interactions. So that's what I'm going to be talking about for my paper. If you guys have any comments or suggestions or opinions, I would love to hear them. Like I said, it's not really my major, so I'm trying my best to apply what we've learned in the class so far. So thanks.